Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Jaguars going up against the Texans. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another season of the NFL on EA Sports kicks off today. Brandon Gunn with Charles Davis. You look at these two teams, big changes in the offseason for both, really, Charles. For the Jags, a new coach, new rookie running back, some big-name signees defensively. For the Texans, gone is Brock Osweiler, but back J.J. Watt.
And nothing but positive changes for both teams. Jacksonville's accumulated a lot of talent in the last 3 to 4 years. Can they put it all together and make a run in the AFC South? And Houston, they feel like they're a quarterback away from being a true Super Bowl contender.
This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the rookie making his first NFL start. From Clemson, here is Deshaun Watson.
Tremendous overall athlete, does everything that you're looking for. Big time in the quarterback run game against their better opponents, but can also operate skillfully from the pocket and can beat you with his mind as well.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
So right now what I'm seeing an offense just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks, too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Ohio! Let's go!
Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Probably mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Being chased out left. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, here's Watson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. On third down, it's Miller. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal.
So important that you keep an opening drive going because you want to set the tempo right away. And you and I both know you can't set a tempo if you're punting the football away.
Yeah, maybe early. Don't want to be too over the top, but you're right. Big third down conversion.
Here we go!
They go play action here on first down. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller from 6 yards away. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're brought out there by their fourth-year quarterback from Central Florida, Blake Bortles.
And, partner, this is a young man who's got it all. Big, strong arm, strong-legged runner when he decides to take off with the football, but it hasn't all come together for him because he's thrown way too many interceptions in his career. Has to take care of the ball better because when he does that, he can be one of the better starting quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, to your point, in 3 years, 51 interceptions. He's also fumbled 29 times. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
In recent years, the Jacksonville Jaguars have had good drafts, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They need the offense to really increase, and Leonard Fournette being picked at number 4 overall, that could really help them in the running back position. Put the ball in his chest and let him eat up carries.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags first down, Bortles to Robinson. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
2nd down now after the incompletion. From the gun, it's Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I love it. A scout told me that with his running style, this guy's always the hammer, never the nail, but also has the ability to break it off big, too.
I was on the field for a game he had last year at LSU, and there were some college boys warming up, and then Leonard Fournette walked in. He is a man.
Full grown.
And he's got it to Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. If you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Throwing is Bortles. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Keesley, 31 yards. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. A first update now from Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Cody Kessler, a first quarter touchdown pass in that one. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. For the Houston Texans, as they make their way onto the field, another season for them that begins with a lot of optimism. They coming off a second straight AFC South title, finishing 9-7 3 straight years. Maybe they're hoping this year that 10 wins is a minimum for them.
10 wins and beyond, because they've got the defense to take them all the way to the Super Bowl. Number one in the NFL last year. Get J.J. Watt back. They drafted Deshaun Watson in the first round at quarterback. They need to shore up that position in order for them to make the run that they expect, one that could culminate in a Super Bowl appearance.
Here's Watson now on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
So possession one ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They've just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jags getting ready to set up shop on offense. And, Charles, it's a question with them that I feel like we've asked many times before. Is this the year you think that they turn it around? They enter 2017 having missed the playoffs for a 9th consecutive year.
And until Jacksonville answers that question affirmatively with a playoff run and a playoff appearance, we keep asking that question, and rightfully so. Look, they've had excellent drafts over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, most of that on defense. This year, they tried to hit it on offense to try and help out their young quarterback, Blake Bortles. They were Leonard Fournette, the big runner out of LSU. Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. They want to control the ball a little bit more, and they think if they can do that, play better on offense, they can make a run in the AFC South.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
From the gun on third down, Bortles completes it to Lee. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. It's a tight game here early. We're back to Houston in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Brad Nortman in his 6th year in the league on to punt it away. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Reminder that later tonight we'll see the Giants and Cowboys battle in Dallas. Seems like they're always playing in Week 1. And then on Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. He's already back in Minnesota to play the Vikings. And then a 10-20 start on the East Coast. It's the first game for the L.A. Chargers traveling to Denver.
A nice AFC West matchup.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
Here's Watson looking to throw on second down. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Watson, and this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Now Bortles. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. Ellington now to return it. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Texans set to come onto the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves the zeros.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you know I'm always going to listen to you first, okay? But when I hear the PA guys say, tackle in the backfield by Clowney, my first thought is to go back to his days at South Carolina and that one particular hit in the bowl game against Michigan.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. This one maybe not as big as that, but my mind goes there as well.
Yeah, but he's a talented individual because you can use him in so many different ways. Obviously, a defensive end. He can play stand-up outside linebacker and in nickel and sub situations. Rush him inside against offensive guards. He's usually too quick for him. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And now it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you surrender 24 turnovers in a season, 16 interceptions, 8 fumbles lost, Blake Bortles, you do hire a quarterback guru to try and get you right, don't you?
And that's what he did. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Immediate dividends from their #1 pick, Charles. They expect, obviously, big things from him.
And he's already starting to deliver. But here's the question I've got for you. Who gets the first football? Because, when you score your first touchdown in the NFL, they give you the ball, right?
Right.
Who's going to get it? Does it go to mom, grandma, wife, girlfriend? Where does it go? High school coach? Who gets it?
Why isn't he putting that in his own trophy case?
Well, that would be a little bit selfish now, wouldn't it? What about all the people that helped him get there?
Well, what are you going to do, cut it up in 30 pieces?
Good point. He gets to keep it.
And a look now at Lamar Miller. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On first down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, here's Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. That'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now it's Watson throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Fuller. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Again, it's Watson. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second quarter in Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Cody Kessler hooking up with his guys early and often. 3 first-half touchdowns. Bortles trying the option to the right. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Brian Cushing. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the lines. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Here we go now. Green,
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Rivera. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw is Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Allen Robinson from 17 yards out. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. For those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dan Williams breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre HOU.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Let's go!
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw on second is Watson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Leonard Fournette. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And incomplete here on third down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Ellington. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Watson to throw on second down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw on second down, Watson. That's caught, Fedorowicz. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You can have the first one for the second one to even matter.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Watson looks to throw again. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time. And touchdown, Houston. Jalen Strong, 47 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Extra point attempt here still to come. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel. There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the...
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 390.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. The Raiders taking a late lead in that ball game. Derek Carr, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Watson now to throw, and he's got it. Fedorowicz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Here's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Normally when I talk about DeAndre Hopkins, I'm talking about accomplishments. In this case, I'm remembering that he lost nearly 600 yards in receiving in 2015. He had less than 1,000 last year.
Yeah, and his touchdowns dropped from 11 to 4, so now he's hoping for more consistent quarterback play. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller, and it's 3rd and 4. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To the air yet again, Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here we go.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down and finding Fedorowicz. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up second down. They'll toss it to Miller. And some room to work. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
In the red zone this time. He'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins from 6 yards away. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch tomorrow.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Clock running as Bortles hurries to try to get his guys set. Throwing now is Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away, as we just saw there.
Now Bortles. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
This is taken at the 15. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Texans take possession. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Derek Carr, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
And as the 4th quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
A first down carry now for Miller. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it again with Miller, and he'll go down at the 28. And now the JAX defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. This is Miller. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was just saying, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good. They are in the 4th and Buffalo. And it was the Jets that came away victorious there. Josh McCown, 2 touchdown passes in the W. And now out comes Houston. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Fournette, and a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. First throw of overtime for Bortles. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them, because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now Watson, his first throw of OT. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Watson so dangerous with his legs in college, and nothing's changed here as he picks up the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run with Miller. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the 50, it's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Texans on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fuller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guy poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal's from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Houston, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.